Welcome in and welcome back. We have another reading today. So, already today I'm feeling that there is like high reluctance, but it's not a reluctance to do anything in particular. It's like a reluctance to believe or a reluctance to, to believe in the path. And we have the fertile void here. And this card it speaks about a moment in time, a moment in a life where it feels like an inner winter. It says rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. So what I'm getting here is like there's a sense of, I think actually stagnancy, but the stagnancy is an illusion. So specifically what I'm talking about is I think you have been really expecting yourself to show up in a certain way or expecting yourself to be feeling a certain way. And I think this has to do with something that you have changed recently in your life or wanted to reinvent in some way. You've been wanting to like reinvent an energy or in yourself or in your life, or you have been seeking something or searching for something that, like searching fulfillment to a certain degree, but not actually knowing what steps you need to take in order to reach that satisfaction or to find that satisfaction. And currently it's leaving you in this energy of expecting yourself to be having found that, expecting yourself to feel lit up and creative and ready to go and fiery. But you're actually also, the reality is you're not really feeling like you're there, or you're not really feeling like you can embody that energy. And part of this has to do with an unexpected shift. But this is funny, okay? Bear with me. But you are expecting an unexpected shift, okay? And so I think this is really relevant, especially for the online community, the online tarot community in particular, because there's so many readings and so much content out here that is promising huge shifts to come, or like, oh, just around the corner there's this ginormous boon or this ginormous blessing, and this thing is going to shift your whole life and it's only going to be like 5 more days. And I think that that is part of the problem here. I think that you are expecting something to come in as an inspired change from the universe, or as something that instigates or catalyzes your life, and that will bring you your 9 of Pentacles here. That will bring you your like abundance or your independence. And the reason you feel like, the reason you want this and the reason you are holding out hope for this is because of this energy that you're coming out of or coming from, which is not really knowing how to start, not really knowing how to get the things that you want. And so because you don't know how to create the things that you want, I mean, this isn't in total. It's not like you don't know at all, but it just means that like in some way, the path towards fulfillment, towards the fulfillment of those things that you know would make you feel really happy and really satisfied, that process is not as easy as it looks, and it's not been clear. And so that's probably one of the reasons why you find yourself with, listening to tarot readings, especially ones that have hope core content, or like are looking to the future or are promising blessings in the future, even especially in the near future, or that are like confirming some kind of present energy that is a signal for a huge shift in your life. So you're looking for that like the golden nugget, the thing that's going to shift everything, or you're looking for money to come in, or an opportunity that you can grasp and you can really cling to and really grow with. And this is not a bad thing. This is like, most of us do this to some degree, or it's a very natural thing to expect and want to know that there are good things around the corner. And your desire for fulfillment and personal happiness is also something that you should be doing. This is a natural thing. But I want to get a little more clear on why this might be an issue and how we can sort of circumnavigate this, or like navigate this just in general. What's the most kind of what's the best way forward through this kind of energy? Because what I want for you is for you to stay in your integrity and to be empowered. So I want you to really have that understanding that you yourself are the captain of your life, right? Like you were steering the ship. And I think it's powerful to attune yourself to messages that help you to feel like it will bring you forward into your destiny. But I also think that a lot of these messages out here can be misleading and can be potentially even destructive if we're not understanding our own part that we play and how powerful we are in creating our own destiny. Like you can't rely on external circumstances to just come in and change your life. We have to manifest those experiences. And then to some degree, we just have to surrender, right? We just have to allow things to happen as they do, while at the same time intentionally putting in practice and effort. You know, even if that's just energetic, but it's also physical. Like we have to do things in the physical realm as well as in the energetic realm. You guys, I think you have mastered the energetics, because we have the Queen of Wands upright, but she's underneath the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So what I think is happening here is that you have an energetic clarity. You know what it is you want. I think you're actually very adept at dealing with the energetics of the universe, like of manifestation energy. I think you're really creative. So you have access to this creative energy, access to abundance energy. But actually grounding it in reality and building something from it, like actual wealth, let's say, like building things that you can really see physical material effects, that is not quite here yet. So because that's reversed, it's like there's this dichotomy between your energetic self and your physical material world self and what your life looks like, right? So, okay, so what we need is the Temperance card. And this has the Five of Pentacles reversed bottom of the deck. So Temperance is coming in to talk about healing our way through this perceived lack mentality, right? So this experience of lack, this experience of not having enough and of being like on the outskirts of what you want, on the outskirts of what you need, frankly. And Temperance is like, we have to walk the middle path. So let's get into this, because the middle path has to do with finding your way through those two energies I was just talking about, those two aspects of your being, which are your energetic queendom, like where you are, even if you're a man, whatever, but it's like you are literally this like magician, like this witch who's able to manifest energetically. But how do you ground that in reality? Because some people, honestly, some of us are like out here manifesting everybody's manifesting all the time, but you might have really strong energy and a really strong ability to call things towards you and to bring things forth from you. But are they the things that you want? Are they really the things that you want? And is it coming in strong enough? Because I think you guys are really wanting like a big change. You're wanting something that completely shifts your world, or that like comes in and like rocks your boat, but in a good way, where it's like inspiring. And you really, really are hoping for this. You're really yearning for this. But yeah, there's this like blankness. See, I just went like blank. There's this silence before you, this like void before you or something. And Temperance is here to say that we both walk the energetic realm. We walk with one foot in the spirit realm, one foot in the unseen, and one foot in the material. And when we are able to walk like that, that allows things to flow. So let's get a little more clarity on how we can do that. What's the how? So I have a Two of Wands reverse coming out. Whoa. Oh my God. 1 second. Oh, and Magician. Okay. So. Interesting. Let's get a little more clarity on that. On the Two of Cups reversed. 5 of Pence. Interesting. How can we walk that middle path? This really is about personal power, I'm getting here. So, okay. There's also, we have King of Swords and Knight of Swords, both reversed, bottom of the deck. So underlying energy, we have a rigidity of mind that's unable to kind of make itself clear, make itself known at the same time. So there's like, what I think is happening here is there's like a stuckness or a confusion energy in the mental that interferes with the flow of energy that you need to manifest your desires into reality. So when you don't have clarity of mind, how are you meant to channel the universal force through? Because the magician here is like, I'm really seeing someone in ritual, literally drawing down, the moon, or drawing down the forces of the divine to be grounded into reality and actually manifest, like become real into the physical reality. So that's why I do feel like you guys do have at least an understanding of manifesting, or like The Secret, or you are like actually magic practitioners to some degree, or you have an understanding of ritual and the way that we can use our divine connection to bring things into reality. But there is a mental discordance. So you have not decided, either you have not decided what you want actually, and maybe you're not realizing that, or you go back and forth and there's like a mental chaos around what it is you want. So, this is exciting. This feels really, really exciting. So the work right now for you is actually to decide. So you have to decide. We have to like reverse. We have to put the King of Swords and the Knight of Swords upright. And the way we do this is by making a decision, basically, making a judgment call about which direction we want to go in. And so that usually, honestly, I think that you guys feel like it's been, like the journey up until now has been more about feeling your way through things energetically and sussing things out based on how they make you feel and how your emotions are drawing you forward. And also you've been learning a lot, you've been developing your skill base, and you've been actually also coming up with the vision that you want. So coming up with the end goal, what you want things to feel and look like at the end. But we've hit a sticky spot, right? Like we've hit a fertile void, which means that you have all this abundance of energy at your fingertips. You have all of this ability to grow and create and to actually plant and then watch things bloom around you. But it feels like you can't, like there's something void about this. There's something not really happening. And there's two things, okay? One, I think you've been thinking that you are meant to just rest patiently or like passively and wait for the thing to bloom ahead of you. But that's also giving you a sense of anxiety because you're like, how can I trust that? So that's what we're talking about with the middle path, is that you're going to help this process along just a little bit more, not by pushing, not by straining, not by forcing something, but by creating mental clarity now, so that there's like, I'm really getting like this clean, like there's a clean channel, I guess. That's what we're trying to do here, is we're trying to like clear a channel or clarify a channel so that you can actually be the bridge between the energetic force or the energetic potential and the physical reality. Yeah, this is really interesting. Okay, so, I mean, there's practical ways to do this, so you will probably be, it would probably do you well to be journaling right now, but I think one of the main things is not to overwhelm the mind. We don't want to actually overwhelm our mind. We don't want to overthink things. We don't want to overanalyze things. We want to find simplicity and clarity and judgment, and that judgment needs to be sound. So how do we know whether our judgment is sound? What's like a key that we can use to understand you know, when something is like correct for us, because this is all about judging what's correct for us, just at least on the mental level, so that we can quiet the mind and focus our energy during our manifestation. No, one more. Interesting. We're getting nothing. Okay, let's change the question. What says Two of Cups reversed? Ooh, okay, interesting. You see how that is funny? So I was asking about specifics for that King of Swords reversed, right? I was like, tell us how we can do that. Nothing. No cards. Nothing was coming out. And then as soon as I switched and I asked, okay, well, tell me about this Two of Cups reversed, and we immediately got the Queen of Cups. So what the heck is that about? Let's see. This has to do with being your own governance, your own spiritual and emotional governor. So because we have the Two of Cups reversed, this has been actually, I think, a process of listening to others, or taking into account the energies of others or the opinions of others, or at least connect. It's almost like connecting too much with others. Like, it's really interesting. And what's happening is it's been creating this experience of lack. So maybe this is a tarot reading to like, I don't know, like some kind of, not apathy, what am I talking about? Like a balm, or like a counter effect to some of the tarot readings that might be out here, like kind of pulling you off course from your own intuition and your own energy. So this reading is about your own intuition. So it's about you getting in tune with your own spiritual messaging and allowing that to be the actual bridge that you need between the sort of the energetic and the physical realm. You need to be looking into your own crystal ball, not into other people's crystal balls. You need to be looking into your own magical inspiration and your own ideas rather than the ideas of someone else. Your power and your foundation is actually available for you already. It's like in your hands, and it's something that you've already started growing. So this is something, you don't have to go searching for this. This is like something that you've already started. We have the Page of Wands here. This person is watching something grow, right? Like they're focusing on the new growth that's on this staff. And they're in a landscape that's a desert. They're in a desolate landscape, but there's also pyramids in the background here. So I do think that there's something mystical about this. There's something also like historical. There's something having to do with that taps you into ancient power. Look, we have Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression, activation, scarlet codes. So we do have an energy here of study. Remember, I was saying you've been learning, you've been studying. You know how to tap in to the universal energy that allows you to channel what it is that you need and to bring your desires into being. This is something that goes way back before like prehistory. This is like a prehistorical understanding that you have tapped into, right? This practice of bridging the energetic and the physical is something that humans have been doing since before we can even remember. It's before written history. This is also something that is like, I'm getting some of you might be into like ancient aliens or like conspiracies around the ancient world and like what the gods were, blah, 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 blah. Go off, right? I'm not going to get into that, but that could be an inspiration point for you, or some kind of guiding force in this for you to some degree. But I am really getting that this has to do with your own idea, your own things that you've already started, and trusting in that, and allowing your own imagination to lead the way. And that is what gives you mental clarity. Your mental clarity, right, comes from you not confusing yourself, not overthinking things, just doing exactly what it is that you already are doing, that you're already like growing and putting energy into, putting focus into, and that has potential. We have the King of Pence and the Ace of Pence, bottom of the deck energy here. Okay, like this is like the full grounding of that reversed swords kind of thing that we had before, which was like all scattered in the brain. So your emotional and spiritual clarity and creative clarity that has, and the reason it's clear is because you're already doing it. So it's like you don't have to do more. You just have to stay with what you're doing. And then that actually builds. It actually builds into something. So this is about patience. This is long term. Like King of Pentacles is like, he could be ageless. He's like a tree. He's like an oak tree, right? Doesn't he have oak all over him? He has grapes and there's oak leaves behind him, I think. But, you know, the King and the Queen of Pentacles are like earthly beings, but they're like, I'm really feeling like they're like nature. They're kind of like nature spirits, or like timeless earth beings, right? Like I really get that with them right now. And with the King of Pentacles being this like so solid, like an oak, like an ancient oak tree, or like the Green Man, you know, from Celtic and British mythology, the Green Man. You might be wanting to go look at that actually. Maybe look him up. There's something here. Okay, wait, because I pulled cards before I started this reading and I wasn't settled with the energy, and so I re-pulled cards. But I will say that in that previous card pull, there was a lot of masculine energy. A lot of kings were coming up, an emperor. So I would like to say that for all of you listening, to go and tap into sacred masculine archetypes, okay? Especially if you're a woman. I mean, okay, especially if you're a man, because like that's good for you. That'll be great. But if you're a woman and you're a spiritual woman, I bet you $1,000,000 you haven't spent enough time with your sacred masculine, or I bet you spent more time with sacred feminine archetypes. And that's good. That's beautiful. Amazing. But you need to be tapping into your masculine. So yeah, sacred masculine energy. And I'm saying that because there's something about calling in the creative masculine nature force, okay? So, because we do have an Ace of Wands here. So I think that there is a yearning for that, like for the appearance of things in the physical, right? And this is not a gendered thing. It's not like a human gendered thing. But there's something about bringing and calling in this, and I'm really saying, like, I'm just getting called to share like Green Man energy or Horned God, even to bring in that kind of even Dionysus, like these really gorgeous and earthy, masculine, divine, creative life force spirits, to sort of bring that into your process. Maybe to spend some time with that in meditation. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this advice. Because that has something to do with the balancing of the energy and the walking of the middle way, the walking of the middle path. And it has something to do with bringing in the physical, bringing in the manifestations into the physical. So yeah, there's like a balancing of this Queen of Cups energy, which is like spiritual, imaginal, and energetic, and the physical, grounded permanency that is the King of Pentacles. Okay? So you're driving your own chariot. The divine it's taking you on this path for a reason. There's something really important about you activating your power through this process of learning how to bridge the gap between energetic and physical. And I will say that you are in this this potent moment. So the reason you can feel that some change is on the horizon and that something's coming in for you is because that is absolutely what the energy is saying right now. So this is the other thing too, is that the Temperance card is talking about when you do your part, the universe then meets you halfway. And I think that you've been feeling like the universe has not been meeting you halfway. And I don't know what the reasons are for that. Sometimes we just have karmic reasons, or we have like a life path reason for that. And perhaps it's that you've been needing to learn how to master the ability to channel, right? To master the ability to manifest into reality. And there has been some really kind of like ancient and spiritual truths that have been discovered through this process for you, or are being discovered through this process for you. But in any case, we're at this point now, this juncture energetically, where you're able to sense that there is something on the horizon that is going to shift everything, or that is going to like in some way change your life for the good or for the bad, but probably for the good. And I only say that because this is the Tower and we know what that's about. And so you don't have to do, remember I was saying, you don't have to do like extra things. All you have to do in order for the divine to really meet you halfway is to continue to focus your energy on what you're already growing, to trust your inner guide, your inner guidance, and your instinct and your imagination. You're also being encouraged to, focus on your own connection with yourself rather than connecting to other people to get, what it is that you think you need or want. That doesn't mean not to rely on your community. Absolutely do. But I just mean in terms of this process of your own personal happiness, this is about following your own guidance internally. And I think this also has to do with speaking with the self, right? So like having like an interview with the self rather than with other people to tell you what it is you need. So let's say you have a therapist or a coach or somebody that you work with to help you figure things out. I think that can be really helpful, but I would recommend that you approach the coaching or the therapy container, or the helping container, somebody who's helping you with this process, to help you get in touch with your inner guidance, like your inner truth and emotional truth and imaginal truth, and the thing that it is that you really are. Okay, so that's something I do in my container. Actually, now that I'm realizing I'm saying this, and I'm like, I do this. This is like how I support others in one-to-one, is that I get you to, if you want to work with me, to like turn your attention back onto yourself. So that's what this Two of Cups in reverse is about. So if you are working with someone one-on-one, or you're asking people for help in some way, or going to them for help in some way, make sure that what's happening is that you're not outsourcing your intuition, and that the relationship is actually helping you to get more intuitive and more tapped into your own ability to understand yourself in your own spiritual capacity, your own emotional capacity. It's all about you coming back into yourself, into your own power. And your own power has a lot to do with honoring your emotionality and your sensitivity, because those are your superpowers. But also you do have a creative vision. You have a creative vision and a creative power that you've already started. And that's what I think you're waiting to have some kind of shift around. But the cards are saying, like, just steady the course, stay the course, keep feeding the vision, feed the vision, feed the creative vision with your attention, with your attention and with your intention, and allow those dreams to get really clear as they possibly can. Spend some time really allowing yourself to like get that vision for yourself. And if that part's difficult, that's what the one-on-one container can help with, is actually finding that clarity of vision, finding that clarity of inner vision about what it is that you are trying to manifest. Do you remember I said, like, we're trying to clarify this because the chaos and the bouncing back and forth and bouncing around is actually it's not hindering you, but it's just not really helping. And if we can clarify these things, then we can get a lot more stable, and the manifestation is going to, first of all, happen, I think, come in faster, but it will ground itself so obviously in your life that you'll see real growth from this. You'll see a real return on your investment, let's say, because we're getting a return on an energetic and mental and emotional investment, it seems, and creative investment. That's your reading. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you next time. There's info in the description for working with me if you're interested. Otherwise, yeah, have a lovely day wherever you are. Bye.